Welcome back to the channel. We're talking about Darius Garland today and the amazing start he's had to the year after an injury-riddled last year where he just didn't look right even when he played in. He is back to looking like an all-star and playing, honestly, the best basketball of his career for this currently 12-0 Cavs team. Let's talk about it. And this is going to be a video about Garland, but also about Kenny Atkinson and the way that he's transformed this Cleveland offense. Looks like they're just going to run a pretty basic Spain pick and roll here. And what that means is Evan Mobley's just going to set a screen right here. Ty Jerome is going to come up and set a back screen for Mobley, who can then go catch this lob. But that's not what's happened. Let's roll the clip. As they're going to use Ty Jerome to set the ball screen. And why are the Cavs doing this? The Cavs have been using a ton of these guard screens. And one takes their best defender, Nick Claxton, out of the play. Cam Thomas, not a great defender. Garland was hunting him all game, and he was the engine in this comeback against the Nets. And if you like this kind of content, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Garland's burst looks excellent. His touch is really great, and Mobley with the deflection. Mobley also went absolutely insane in this game, but the Nets were up in this fourth quarter, and Garland helped orchestrate this comeback. You see what happens when the Nets play traditional kind of drop coverage here where they allow some space, and that's just not going to work when you have Darius Garland shooting like he is from mid-range at the moment. It's like above 55%, I think, just absolutely smoking from the mid-range area. Later, they go for another guard screen, and look what this does to the defense. Donovan Mitchell setting the screen. You'd think it's not a great idea because, Mitchell's not big. He can't really set a big screen, but when Mitchell leaks out right here, Dennis Schroeder does not want to leave Donovan Mitchell. So he's not really here to fully collapse and cover in this gap, which lets Garland just snake right through, draw a foul, get to the free throw line, and end up giving the Cavs a lead there. Next possession down, another guard screen, and this is just matchup fishing, and Garland doing his thing, and his playmaking has been so damn good this year. But let's look at the guard screen one more time. We have Karis LeVert getting Schroeder off of Garland, a slightly worse defender in Cam Thomas, and yeah, Garland is going to cook Cam off the dribble. Great job decelerating, hanging in the air, twisting and finding Evan Mobley with his left hand. That's a really special play, and Garland's been making a ton of these. And then he's just going to close out the game, cooking Cam Thomas off the dribble again. We see this guard screen one more time. Ty Jerome as the ball screen defender, and these guys right here are just not confident defenders in pick and roll action, right? Cam Thomas should be sitting way deeper to guard Garland, and from here, Garland can just own Cam Thomas. Little half spin, not to shit on Cam Thomas or anything, but Garland was just having his way in this game, getting to his floater whenever he wants. And as I was kind of alluding to, his playmaking to me is one of the most kind of impressive things. Now, the Bucks drop defense historically, right? The whole point is to wall off the paint, but Darius Garland gets all the way downhill, draws in Brook Lopez, and Allen's going to catch and finish this little hook shot. Ends up being a kind of hard shot that somehow counted as an assist, but Garland creating that advantage off of the dribble is ultimately what fueled this bucket from Jarrett Allen in the post. And his synergy with both Allen and Mobley is really impressive. He clearly has great chemistry with both after playing with them for so long. And whew, look at this lefty bounce pass dime right here. The Warriors are going to switch everything here, or at least show with Draymond Green. They don't want Garland getting a free advantage, so instead of having Green like drop back like he might normally in the pick and roll, they have him staying at the level to guard Darius Garland. And I'm still getting used to this new drawing tool, so bear with me. But look at that just lefty, tiny, tight window bounce pass to Jarrett Allen for a wide open dunk. He really does seem to be playmaking at the highest level of his career, and he's been incredible in the clutch. We watched him dismantle the Nets in the clutch, and here he's going to do the same against the Bucks. He draws two defenders. Jarrett Allen is able to roll and finish, and he's so good against pressure. Garland definitely isn't perfect because he's just small, but He is really great when 2-3 defenders squeeze at him. He just makes great decisions, reads the floor really quickly as a playmaker, and he's just playing with a lot of decisiveness and confidence at the moment. He's so good opening up and rejecting screens and holding his hand. Like, this whole play is a ball screen with Jarrett Allen, right? He's holding his dribble, he's keeping Jose on his back, but Brandon Ingram is staring right at Darius Garland, which allows Evan Mobley to just sneak backdoor, and Garland can find him for a wide open shot right there at the basket. He's just been phenomenal as a playmaker. This is some really cool data from NBARIPM.com where you can see that his on-ball percent, the time he's playing on the ball, is the lowest of his career. Kenny Atkinson has really helped Garland get off ball and work, and yet, despite this, he's creating the highest volume of potential assists in his career right now. This 2.2, despite that lower on-ball percentage. And his efficiency is, again, career-high efficiency, career-high three-point percentage, career-high scoring volume. And, of course, this is going to kind of go back down to earth. But look at that mid-range shooting, man. He's just absolutely killing from there. And, like I said, the off-ball stuff with Mobley growing as a ball handler makes it easier for Garland to get reps off of the ball here, where they're trying to run a little pin-in screen right here where Garland sets, and then he can go catch right here. But Dennis Schroeder top-locking Garland, which means he's trying to not let him go. But look what's wide open. The paint is wide open. So Garland is simply just going to cut backdoor. Mobley's an excellent passer. He's going to find him. They've been adding these easy buttons to the offense where it's not just Garland having to create, and again, sets up a little backdoor cut. Jarrett Allen, notice how great the spacing is in this lineup with Allen as the sole big. Garland gets downhill. He's open into that space as a cutter. And just as a freelance guy, Garland is doing a really nice job working off the ball and then using his playmaking once he gets moving in space. Like, defenses will deny Garland hard right here. And they'll have to double Evan Mobley because Mobley is playing like a monster this season. But Garland simply slips into space. Yves Missi steps up right here to take away Garland. But the lob pass over top, or actually, no, the lay-down pass, excuse me. But anyways, Allen ends up getting an open dunk because of Garland's ability to work and score off of the ball. And, of course, that helps Garland as a playmaker, right? So he's able to get easier windows, doesn't have to create everything. This is an action I really love. I've seen it called skip, basically, where instead of passing to Garland to initiate the offense, the ball handler, in this case Ty Jerome, skips Garland to Mobley, and then Garland catches the dribble handoff and goes into the corner. A lot of times they'll run this, the Lakers will run this a lot of time for like Connect or Austin Reeves as a shooter, but here they run it for Darius Garland. Quick little hands off, Jackson Hayes steps up, dump down to Mobley, who's able to score in the paint. Mobley's been so phenomenal this year. Maybe I'll do some more stuff on Mobley, and I feel like there's so much Cavs content I want to make because they're just such a fun-ass team, but Garland, of course, gets easier shots because of his teammates. He's a very smart off-ball player. Donovan Mitchell drives, so instead of just staying right here at the hash mark here, just sinks into the corner, running with Mitchell to give him a much easier pass. And yeah, Garland, with the way he's playing right now, is probably going to be hitting these wide open threes. He's just a really smart off-ball player combined with being a great shooter, to where it's like, when you have Evan Mobley and Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen, you have to send defensive attention here. Taurean Prince pinches really hard because otherwise Mitchell's just going to get right to the basket. But Mitchell's a great passer as well. He finds Garland atop the key. That's a wide open triple. And Garland, of course, is a phenomenal on-ball shooter too, but he's really good at using his off-ball stuff to set up into these jumpers. We've seen some Garland dribble handoffs already. Dean Wade right here sets up into it, and Mikhail really, really hard presses over this screen to try to deny Garland, but look how much space that leaves on the kind of short, deep corner there. Garland just kind of takes one dribble, wide open three, easy bucket right there for Darius Garland. He's just one of those special off-dribble shot-making creation talents. Like, oh my goodness. His ability to stop on a dime, change speeds, change directions is absolutely special. He's just one of those guys that, regardless of where he is on the floor, he can get to his pull-up. His release is so quick. He's so good changing speeds and directions, and you really can't run soft coverages when Garland is playing with the kind of confidence that he is right now. The Knicks are trying to switch this ball screen for whatever reason. They don't necessarily want to give up an easy slip or anything for Dean Wade, but look how much space they're giving Garland. Like, that is a disrespectful amount of space for a shooter of Garland's caliber, especially one playing the way that he is currently playing, and in the clutch again, down one, just shaking AJ Green, burying that three. He's such an impressive creator at the moment. Garland's doing really good stuff. And again, we're going to see him hit the step back on Grady Dick right here. But this one's all because of the screen setup. First, we have another guard screen right here, trying to get Sam Merrill to switch Grady Dick onto Garland instead of a better defender in Emmanuel Quickly. Dick wants to fight over the screen, but Garland noticed it, rejects, and just beautifully smooth into his step back three. He's just one of the most fun players in the watch to me. Pure bucket. And his size is always going to be somewhat limiting, but as we showed before, like, he's shooting a crazy percentage of the rim for him, 66.7% within 5 feet. It's by far the highest of his career. Who knows how sustainable this, again, 48% from three, this efficiency is. And there are definitely times where Garland will drive into traffic and bigger teams can just swarm and overwhelm him at the rim, but a lot of his turnovers, this was hilarious, are him just being ambitious and trying to make passes. Like, he's looking for this cut to Karis LeVert, right? And he's smart to do it. Kuzma falls asleep right here, and Karis just slips right behind him, but Garland airmails this ball in kind of a comical fashion right there. But he's trying these high-level assists. He's trying to make layup passes that lead to easy buckets. So even when they don't work out necessarily, I don't hate the process of Garland going for these types. But again, Draymond Green, defenders like that are going to be able to put pressure on him just because of the size, and really aggressive defenders like Jalen Suggs are going to be able to just get up into Garland and bother him. This is just kind of how it is for all small guards, though, so I don't think these problems are necessarily unique to Garland by any means, but his ability to get downhill this year has been really impressive, all things considered. Again, against 1v1 against Jalen Suggs, just going to burn him to the open baseline, decelerate, hit the floater. Garland's ability to get to the floater is one of the most important parts of his game, right? He's so good countering in the intermediate area. A lot of teams want to play coverages to allow these kind of shots, and Darius Garland is completely fine taking them. Again, we see this double screen action. The Bucks here are trying to switch Connaughton out, but it looks like they want to almost hedge, or Connaughton and Jackson seem like they're miscommunication. They're miscommunicating here. It seems like Jackson thinks he's taking Niang, but Connaughton thinks he's hedging out to kind of stop this drive by Garland, but they obviously miscommunicate here. Garland gets to his floater, and that's just absolutely money. Darius Garland is not missing shots like that. And again, notice Darius getting his start off of the ball before he flows into this play. Garland starts this at the elbow, right? He's at the elbow in a horns alignment, which is just Mitchell at the top, two guys at the elbows, two guys at the corners. That's all horns means. Garland is going to get a screen after the dribble handoff from Allen, and from there he can just take him off the dribble, do his thing. And because of his threat as a lob passer, Karl-Anthony Towns fears this over-the-top lob pass to Jarrett Allen for the dunk, so he's going to track back instead of sticking with Darius Garland here, which ends up resulting in Garland just floating in a beautiful little shot. He's so good at blending his layups and his passes, so you don't necessarily know what he's doing until it's too late. And Garland snaking, getting all the way to the rim. Even without the most perfect finishing stuff, like, he's gonna miss some of these shots in traffic just because of his size limitations, but his process getting there, right? He's patient, he's playing with great pace, and of course Garland can just explode when he needs to. He's gonna get blocked sometimes, though. Like, there is, I think, gonna be some regression as a finisher, if I had to guess. It's just kind of insane for Garland to be finishing the way that he is at his size, and I would imagine that it's probably going to dip just because, like, as I said before, he can get overwhelmed by size in the paint. But the driving and the finishing as a whole has been really, really nice. Look at him hang in the air and finish over Alex Sarr there, who is a rookie, but very impressive defensive rookie here. Really nice defender in Cade Cunningham sticking to Garland right here, but he sees a pretty wide open area to drive into. So Garland's going to just hit the accelerator, but then slow down to float it over the outstretched arms of Jalen Duren. Beautiful, beautiful work by Garland right there. And his ability to float shots in is a great counter to ice coverage. It's a Thibodeau New York Knicks special. Ice coverage just meaning Mikal Bridges here is going to take away the middle of the floor, hoping to force the defender baseline, and then the drop big, Brunson, Anunoby, hopefully will step up to help. But Garland's ability to take this floater as a counter is really great for beating these ice coverages, because this is the kind of shots you give up when you play the sideline. But when you have an elite floater shooter like Garland, he's going to be able to make these shots all day whenever you leave him open and let him take it. And just, oh my goodness, the hesitation, the pace. He's not really even doing anything crazy here. He's just keeping his dribble alive, waiting to see what Yves Missi does. And the Pelicans here are trying to hedge, which means Javonte Green, right, coming over, but Missi stunts out, but he's supposed to eventually go back to Allen. And right when Missi starts to go back, right here, you can see him start to move back to Allen. That's when Garland explodes, pump fakes, finishes through traffic. So Garland's on offense, and I think he's been solid enough on defense too, but he's just playing at a new level offensively. Who knows how long this efficiency is going to sustain, but Garland's ability to get downhill, to play make at a high level, and just to operate within the flow of this new look Cavs offense, to me is really encouraging. I think he's maybe not unsung, but one of the keys to Cleveland's incredible start, just the offensive juice he's given them as an off-the-bounce creator, but also adding value when he's not demanding the ball is just really, really impressive. And one of my favorite players to watch. I'm so glad he's back healthy, and I hope you enjoyed this video.